Go.
All right. So, hi, Dad.
All right, I'll start us off. Well, Haley, it's good to have you in the Grant-Kohrs studio.
Yeah, good to
Normally
be here.
we're doing a
Thank
church
you.
podcast here, but today we're going to talk about national parks.
That's right. Some unique moments, right?
That's right. Not necessarily the best moments, but sort of the most memorable times that we had together. And you and I went on probably, maybe about 4-ish national park trips together.
Just you and me, and then a couple more with the family.
And as a family, we went on a few together.
Right.
But let's just talk about some of our most unique moments. And you have a list there.
I have
and,
a list here.
Let's run down that list right now. What do you have?
Okay, so the first one is like the one that comes to my mind instantly is Mount St. Helens, when we hiked Mount St. Helens back almost 10 years ago now. But that was the most amazing hike, but also the most like crazy hike I've ever done in my entire life. It was so unique from like the forest, and there was the lava rock, then the ash. It was crazy. It was a crazy hike.
We're getting close to the top. This is extremely hard work. The gravel, which is ash, is very loose. It's extremely steep. How you doing down there, Haley? This is really hard work. But we're gonna keep pressing on.
I remember at one point we were on the way down, and I was so physically exhausted, my hands were like shaking. And I remember like sitting on a rock for a second to rest. I think I had just fallen on my back. I was like resting on a rock, and I hear boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, I'm gonna have to carry Dad down the mountain.
Yeah, that wasn't a rock that was falling down. That was me.
That was you that was falling. And I look over, I'm like, Dad, are you okay? Please be okay. And you're like, yeah, I'm good. But yeah, we ran out of water. I lost a contact. It was crazy.
Yeah, that still goes down as probably the most challenging hike I've ever done in my life.
It's crazy.
All right, good one. Yeah, how can we forget the Mount St. Helens hike? You're right, about 10 years ago that was. Hard to believe.
Right.
All right, what else do you have on the
we've had
list?
hikes, and then seasickness has also been a weird thing on our trips as well. Pamlico Sound with the family, when the waves were 10 feet tall crashing over the side of the ship that we were trying to cross.
I thought that boat was going to tip over.
That's right.
I thought it was going to capsize. And they ordered everyone, remember, back to their cars, stay in your cars, and the whole family was really close to all getting seasick that day.
It was insane. It was like a full-scale like hurricane that was happening almost. Yeah, we were all just like trying not to move in the back seat. It was very weird.
Do you feel awful? We just better have a plastic bag. Is there a bathroom up there?
Yeah. They said you got to stay in your seats right now. They don't want you moving at all. It's too dangerous to be out.
That's scary too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's really
huge
scary.
Waves. Huge waves. You don't really encounter storms like that, and being actually out on the water was really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also was thinking about when we went to Cape Lookout. That was another weird storm situation. I know. Like when we went there, it wasn't that bad. Then we get to the island with the lighthouse, and the winds just were whipping all of a sudden, and there was a family there who was there for a beach day.
Yeah.
While there was like a full-scale hurricane going on.
We're determined to go to the beach. Rain or shine, we're in good weather. We just left from there, out on the point all by themselves. That's dedication, baby.
And
the sand
we dropped
was, like,
them off.
hitting your face like needles.
We just dropped them off, and then we were with that guy. He was an interesting guy as well.
And he's like, "You guys good?" And then they were like, "Yeah," and we left them.
We left them
in
there.
the middle of the beach,
Yeah.
and we drove away. And it was like a mile out, and they were like all alone in this like storm. It was very, very bizarre.
That was a fun day.
It was
a
cool
lot of fun.
island. It probably was really nice in the sun. So.
And all the rain and the weather kind of chased everybody away. So we basically had that island just about to ourselves.
I kind of liked it like that. It was nice.
Dad, is that our ferry right there? Looks like
that would be our ferry right there. That is arriving to pick us up.
Oh, Dad, we gotta go.
We got actually 10 minutes to get down and on that boat. Right there, 10 minutes. You ready?
Yep.
Let's go. We don't want to be stuck.
I also was thinking about the time that we went to Cape Cod, another like coastal area. But this wasn't so much what we did there. It was the night of, we went to the hotel, me, you, and Natalie, and I forget, we couldn't get the key, right?
Yeah, we had reservations. It was in the winter, so it was the off season.
Yeah.
And the guy said, the room's unlocked, help yourself, but it was locked.
Yeah.
And he wasn't anywhere to be found.
Right.
Room number 212, the room will be open, as in unlocked, and the key will be inside.
He's not even here. He's not here and everything's all locked up. This isn't good. We got no place to sleep tonight.
right, I'm in 213. This is open. Maybe we'll just take this room, I guess. Lights don't work. Oh boy, this is not turning out to be a very good evening. Oh man, there's not even sheets on these beds. No electricity in this room. All right, 212 is supposed to be our room. That's locked up. The guy's not here. 213 is open, but there's no electricity in this room. It's freezing in here too. 212. That is locked up, baby. All right. I don't know what to do. I'm just gonna keep knocking on doors, I guess, until I find one that's open. All right, 212 is locked up. 213 is open. It's got beds in there, but there's no sheets on the beds, there's no blankets, and there's no heat in the room. Nor is there any electricity.
I literally don't understand.
I don't know. Any ideas, Natalie? Doesn't look like it.
So me and Natalie were so tired. We just wanted to go and lay down, and you're like, guys, and you figured it out. And I think you got us a key eventually.
I finally found the guy.
You finally found the guy.
But there were no cars in the parking lot, so I felt we were rather safe to just start opening doors.
Yes.
And then eventually we tracked the guy down. But you guys weren't
it's not a fun thing
too
when you're
pleased
freezing cold
that late
and
at night
exhausted. Yes.
without being able to get into the hotel room.
So I'm really glad we eventually made it into that hotel room. And we slept really well.
Yeah.
There was also the time, the next one on my list is, this one's not as I don't want to say pleasant, this one was a little more startling when we saw that rattlesnake in Arches, when me, you, and Kayla went out one morning. We were like, let's go check out a few more arches, and the rest of the family stayed at the campsite. And we went out and we were walking down the path, and you're like, whoa! There's a rattlesnake literally right in the middle of the path. And Kayla's like, where? Kayla never sees the snakes. But we stumbled right on this pretty decent sized rattlesnake. Yeah. Yeah, I was my only rattlesnake I've ever seen up close.
And he didn't seem very aggressive. He just was kind of slithering off, doing his own thing.
We kept our distance.
Yeah.
Didn't we walk away? Is this the time the guy was like, you saw a rattlesnake? And he ran right up to it afterwards?
Well, I'm like, be careful, there's a rattlesnake up there. He's like, oh, cool.
And he gets the camera out. Yeah. Remember that time that you lost your sweatshirt in Lassen?
Oh, at Lassen.
At Lassen.
Yeah. Lassen
no
Volcanic
fun
National Park. Yeah.
Especially a new sweatshirt.
I just bought it. Right?
It was a new sweatshirt, and we went on the first hike of the trip, and we went to the hike, we went back to the car, and at the car, you're like, I forgot my sweatshirt at the end of the
furthest
trail.
point away.
The furthest point away.
Yeah. I don't believe I did this. We're about halfway through this trail. On our way back, I just realized I left my sweatshirt at the end of the trail.
Not in the backpack.
Not good. Kind of far to go back and get it. Took it off, put on some sunscreen, got a drink of water, put it down on a rock, grabbed my camera, and ran back because we're hungry for lunch. So we saw a guy, actually. He's heading in the opposite direction. The European guy, and very nice man. And I asked him to grab my sweatshirt for me and leave it at the trailhead. We got the European guy. Hopefully he's going to grab the sweatshirt. But if you guys see a gray sweatshirt on the trail, please grab it and leave it at the trailhead for me, okay?
For sure, man.
All right, where are you guys from?
Joshua Tree.
Joshua Tree. You live in Joshua Tree?
Yes.
Nice. Very nice. Well, good to have you here. How about that? Woohoo! There it is. My sweatshirt. Yeah. We've had a lot of great experiences with people, way more positive than negative.
Oh, yeah.
In terms of the relations that we had with other people that we meet along the way.
Yeah, you're kind of all in the same boat, so you have to work together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been good.
Do you remember also, not the same trip, this was the Maine trip. When we went to Maine, something cool that we did in Maine was the rock slide. Another unexpected thing that we didn't really plan on doing. We just found it, and we probably will never find it again. But the rock slide. Yeah, not the North Carolina rock slide. No, not the North Carolina one. That was a little better, I think. It was more official. But the Maine rock slide was more secluded. Totally unofficial. Yes. And it was still really nice. Like the trail, we went to Baxter State Forest, and we didn't really know exactly what to do there. So we asked the guy at the gas station, remember? We're like, hey, what do you do around here? And he's like, oh, there's a rock slide. And we're like, I guess I'll try to find it. And we found it. We were told you could start up a little further if you want, but the danger is getting swept off to the right, and there's a pool on the right-hand side. Or you can just start about here, and you work your way over to that right there. If you want to keep going, you can try to make that bend to the right, but it's
It's a little bit dangerous, they said. Got some sharp rocks and some pretty swift current.
It took us a while to find it.
It took us a long time to find it.
On a couple occasions, we were going off in the wrong direction.
We had to ask a lot of locals.
Yeah.
We kept asking people, like, hey, are we on the right track?
Like?
Like, and it was really fun. And it worked. You slid down this natural rock, and it was like gorgeous, this beautiful stream in the middle of nowhere, and it was fun.
Yeah, Baxter State Park, I think that was.
Yeah.
And again, another place we got to. Then there was a guy and his daughter, his sister, I believe it was, that were there. But again, another great summer activity. We're out there all by ourselves.
That's right.
All right, we're gonna try one more before we gotta go. I can't do any worse than the last one. Here we go.
It was cool.
Yeah.
That was a really
enjoyed that
experience.
one, huh?
I like that one. One of my favorite times that we've had that like really sticks in my memories is the Huckleberry Festival at in Montana.
In Montana, yeah.
In Montana, yeah. We were just driving to the camp that you were going to speak at, and we saw a sign that said Huckleberry Festival, and you're like, do you want to stop? And I'm like, yeah, I kind of do want to stop. And Natalie's in the back seat. She's like, what are we doing? And yeah, we're stopping for the Huckleberry Festival. And it was like all these handmade crafts around, and they gave us pancakes with huckleberries in them. And it was just like that local like energy, that local tradition. It was really fun to experience that.
My job is to make the perfect pancake batter.
And this is huckleberry pancakes, right?
Well, the huckleberries get added at the grill.
Oh, at the grill they get added later on.
Yeah.
Oh.
Did you like the huckleberry pancakes?
I liked them a lot. They tasted like blueberries, like blueberry pancakes. But that was like, you know, how many people get to go to a huckleberry festival?
In the middle of nowhere. I mean, it was so remote.
Random.
And
but it was packed there.
A lot of people there, mainly locals from the town. But those always seem to be some of the most special occasions we have when it's not on the itinerary, so to speak. And we just stumble across something, and it's an unexpected gem.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was fun.
Liked that one a lot.
That was a fun day.
That was a really good day.
We made a video about that one.
Yep.
In and of itself.
It's on the channel. Check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really good time. I liked that a lot. Next one I got on my list is the passport experiences. We've had a couple weird passport encounters. The one with just me and you was in Maine also, when we went to Roosevelt's summer home in Canada.
Right.
And it was so close to America. I think we just figured, oh, we're not going to need passports for that. And we get there and they're like, passport? And we're like, oh, can you just let us in for a couple hours, please? Because we just want to go really quick and see. And we made it in. And it was really, really cool.
So the U.S. Customs agent just said, give it a shot. Odds are they won't let you in without a passport. But the worst they can do is just turn you around.
Here we are. We're coming up on it. All right, Laura, if you want us to go into Canada today. And then there was a time in Niagara Falls with Shane.
With Shane. And I think, if I remember correctly, we all had our passports except Shane didn't have his.
Shane didn't have his.
It's going to be in this side, and then we're just going to do a U-turn and be booted out that side and say, you guys are all deported from Canada.
That time we were more prepared. We had our passports, except for some reason Shane didn't. I don't remember why he didn't. But they let him in and out as well. But they asked him, like, do you know these people? Like, do you know these people? Are these your family members? Just to make sure he was like in the right place.
And it was, I think, easier to get into Canada than it was to get back into America, if I remember correctly.
All right, I only got a couple more left here.
2 left.
Remember the Grant-Kohrs Ranch?
Oh, up in Montana.
Mm-hmm.
That was a fun day, wasn't it?
Going into Grant-Kohrs, I was like, oh, it's going to be another like just typical historical site, you know. But it was like they had a lot to offer there, and it was. I think it makes this list because of the unique activities that were at the ranch.
Do you remember some of the activities?
So I remember the cowgirl lady. She was all dressed up in cowgirl outfit. She made us cowboy coffee. So it was like that just black coffee, and we were like, it's so hot. And then we got to lasso actually like the fake cows that were there. They had like horseshoe making, I remember. It was cool. Like just like farm, like you felt like you were on a farm there. Like they did a really nice job with it. Yeah.
Give you that real Montana feel when you did it, didn't it?
Yeah. It was like they threw you right into farm life.
Such a contrast from the New Jersey culture.
Oh, yeah.
Out there in Montana.
Yeah.
And that's the first time we ever got to do a little lassoing, right?
And then we did it more the other day at the camp, too.
At the Christian
but we
camp
felt more experienced because we had gotten to practice at Grant-Kohrs. Yeah.
That's neat.
Yeah.
That's neat. That was fun.
Yeah.
Dad, what happened to this cow?
This cow met a good cowboy. That's what it is. And you see this rope on my hip right here?
Yep.
You know what that means?
You're gonna go get some more?
I don't know. Absolutely nothing. But if I had a cowboy hat and maybe some boots, I'd be a force to be reckoned with on this range. You know that?
Mm-hmm.
You hear what I'm saying, little cowgirl?
Huh?
Yep.
You all know what I'm talking about? I don't want to have it with a New Jersey accent.
Natalie over there.
Natalie is going strong still. Natalie, try to lasso
trying to do it from this
lasso the tripod from here, Natalie.
All right, one more. Ready
Last
for the
one.
last one.
All right.
Maybe the most humorous one.
Saving the best for last. What is that?
When the trunk was left open of the car
Oh.
in Cuyahoga.
Cuyahoga National Park in northern Ohio.
That's right.
Summer vacation. I'm going to
Yep.
say 2016.
I think it was around then, yeah.
Driving
Yeah.
out to Michigan to see
Yep.
family.
Mm-hmm.
We'd stop off and spend a
Cuyahoga.
night, 1 or 2 nights, I think, at Cuyahoga.
Yep.
And tell us what happened that night.
First night there.
We just arrived from New Jersey.
Just arrived. The car's packed for a full vacation. We literally just left, and we wake up in the morning and like there's just stuff everywhere, and we're like, what happened last night? And we look inside, and your protein powder was all like all over, and in the protein powder there were tracks of raccoons. We found out because we look up in the tree right above the car, and there's like 3 raccoons looking down at us. They're like watching. We're like, oh no. So we figured something must have happened with the trunk where they got in, they went through all our food, they went through Misty's dog food, and they just like tore the car apart.
It's almost like a bomb
crazy.
exploded the car, and
Yeah.
everything was, they
Yeah.
destroyed it all
It
night
was
long.
ridiculous.
Oh, this is terrible. We left the hatchback open last night, I guess. You can see an animal got in our car. And that's protein powder all over the place.
Did it like scratch?
I don't know. I hope it's not in the car. Look at that trail it left behind. Oh, it made a mess. Look, it got all the way up in the front seat even. Hope the animal's not in here still. Got that chicken right there. Got all that food. Look at that seat. It's a disaster in here. This guy couldn't have made a bigger mess. Lesson learned. Don't leave the hatchback open. Almonds in my shoe. Oh, there's dog food in my shoe. He didn't eat the dog food. The animal ate the protein powder and left the dog food behind. That's gonna be one strong little animal. Could he have made a bigger mess though? He dragged it. He dragged the protein powder everywhere. Look at, there's a whole trail outside of protein powder.
And if it was anyone's fault, it was my fault, I think. I'll take full responsibility for that one.
Could have been
I
anyone.
left the hatchback open.
Yeah.
And that was a mistake you don't want to make
only
a
make
second
that
time.
once.
You learn your
Yeah,
lesson
absolutely.
the first time on that one. But they got in there, and we were just sleeping away, thinking everything's fine. The dog was with
We
us,
didn't
too.
even hear them do
Even the
it.
dog did
I
it. Misty
know.
didn't hear anything.
It was so bizarre.
And they just trashed our car completely.
Yes.
And anything that was edible was consumed, I think. Yeah.
Well, they have the little bandit thing. They're silent bandits, you know. But,
Oh,
yeah, that
wow. How
was
could
my
we
list.
forget
Those
that one?
were all the unique moments that
Well,
I had
that's
thought
a
of.
great list, Haley.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I hope we can make some
good
more memories
times.
together.
Yeah.
But we had a lot of fun times together. I'm so thankful that you made the time and effort to travel with me on these trips. And
Me too.
we have all the videos to look back at and remember all the fun times that we had together. Sounds good.
Yeah, lots
well,
of
thanks for
good
sharing
times.
that, Haley.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thanks for talking about it.
All
It
righty.
was fun.
it.